Okay, parental controls and healthy conversations. Um, Parental controls, before I get into what parental controls can do, I do want to talk about one of the unknown benefits of using parental controls with your kids. The vast majority of parents I see are not using parental controls when they first bring their child to me. The reasons are usually they feel like they're able to monitor their use just fine without it. They don't understand how to use them. They feel like it's an invasion of their child's privacy, or they want their child to learn how to use the internet without their parent over top of them. They're all valid points, and I want to acknowledge that. But I also want to share with you that studies have shown that using parental controls and incorporating them into your technology routine as a family is one of the best ways for your child to learn how to safely use the internet and develop their critical awareness and thinking around dangers and threats of the internet. It also helps develop trust and communication between yourself and your child when all of this is done in a positive way, as opposed to that's it, I'm putting parental controls on your phone. When it's done from the beginning, or it's done in a more collaborative way, in a more education type of way, we're doing this because there's a threat out there and this is the best way for us to help manage it. It creates connection and trust, as opposed to it being we're doing this because we can't trust you on the internet. That's a more policing and a more mistrusting, distrustful type of way. So it's really around the language you use on how you introduce the parental control into the family. So looking at the risk factors that parental controls can mitigate. The first one is screen time duration, and you can start as early as you want, and I would go as early as you can. Children experience time blindness. This is a common phrase in ADHD, but children experience it. We all experience it. Time just evaporates. A time limit that is directly on their phone or computer helps them recognize how long they've been on the computer. 50 minutes of continuous gameplay has very limited negative impacts, studies have shown, but 150 minutes of continuous gameplay has really negative impacts on sleep and school performance. The longer the duration as well, the greater the risk of the meltdown. So having a parental control with a time limit, one of the benefits is the kid can actually see how much time they have left. So they are now starting to be able to budget their time and their time and develop their own independent skills around that. So instead of relying on you to be like, time's up, 5 more minutes, and those 5 minutes can be 10 minutes or they can be negotiated, they aren't really learning how to budget time. They're learning how to push and blow through your boundaries and their own nervous system. And those aren't the skills that we want to develop. We want to develop our kid to learn how to actually manage what does actually 5 minutes mean, or what does 20 minutes mean. And when they can actually see it on their phone and they're actually playing, you'll be actually quite surprised at how they're able to regulate that. They may even save 20 minutes because they might want to use it for after dinner. They might start doing some pretty interesting things with when they know what actually 20 minutes means. And they can't actually start doing it until they actually start doing it. And that's, think about how you actually learn how to do new skills. It's the same type of thing with a kid when they think about time. Time is so abstract to a kid. And this is the best way to help them. Inappropriate content, no matter how hard you try to limit their content, they will be seeing inappropriate content. Parental controls will not catch everything, but it will catch more than you on your own. So additionally, if they do see something that you don't like, or that scares them or causes them a nightmare, you can then add it to a blocked list the next day so they don't see it again. There's really no loss to doing this. It's a win-win. Unsolicited friend requests from strangers. In pretty much every online game or social media app, random people can add you or strike up a conversation. So without any parental controls, you're unable to stop this. Voice and text chatting. As you slowly loosen the reins of allowing your child to play online, You can limit their ability to communicate with these strangers. Allowing them to play online games with faceless strangers is far less dangerous if they aren't allowed to actually communicate with them. App blocking and monitoring. As you hand a smartphone or a tablet, you can block their ability to add apps such as TikTok or Instagram. You can't do that without parental controls. On the right here, I have two screenshots of my parental control settings that I have set up for my 9-year-old twins on Roblox. On the left side is my parent. You have to put in a parent PIN in order to change any of these settings. Below that is the allowed experiences. Roblox has games that are rated in 3 forms: 13 plus, 9 plus, and everyone. Despite my kids being 9, they're only allowed to play games that are rated for everyone. That's the equivalent of E for everyone, or movies like G general. To the right, though, this is what I really want to point out. That's even more important are the privacy settings. You have to have the parent PIN turned on to turn on the privacy settings. I have enabled account restrictions, which are associated with this parent PIN, and I've turned off all communications. No one's allowed to message my kid, text chat my kid, text my kid in the app. There's an additional setting below that for spending restrictions. The point is, when you see this, it's very easy to set up. I check 2 boxes and I put in a parent PIN. And when you think back to that screen hierarchy and how a child's going to progress through the various stages of screens, gaming, internet, social media, you can think of parental controls as the water wings to a vast ocean of the wild west of the internet. Every single major app has parental controls, and both iOS and Android have big apps that you can then also put to manage blocking apps and different things and screen time as well.